Bonjour, Flosstube, bonjour. Bonjour, Flosstube, bonjour. Bonjour, Flosstube, bonjour, Flosstube, bonjour, Flosstube, bonjour. Bonjour, Flosstube. Bonjour, je m'appelle Kaylee. This is my je parle français. Je ne comprends le français. Okay, so here's what was going on in my head. Welcome. I'm Kaylee. This is Kaylee Cross-Stitch. And I was thinking this morning, I was like, oh, a long time ago when I first started singing to you, singing hello to you, I was like, oh, and the language might change. Because I did that with my elementary students. I would change the language of the hello song. And then I was singing in French this morning, and then I was like, oh, I took a semester of French my freshman year of college, and I never really retained any of it. So I remember all the phrases that I learned to not speak French in French. Like, je m'appelle Kaylee. J'ai un petit vocabulaire en français. I have a tiny vocabulary in French. Je chante dans le français. I sing in French. Je ne comprends le français. I don't comprehend. I can't listen to someone speak French and know what they're saying. I can read it fine. I took classes in college that were like you learn how to speak the language, but you don't learn what the words mean. So it's for singers. So in opera you learn how to pronounce the language but not speak it, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, I'll clarify. Just let me know. Welcome. I'm Kaylee. This is Kaylee Cross-Stitch. And if you're new here, I've had a few people shout me out, and thank you for doing that. So Globetrotting Stitcher, Amy, I mentioned her in passing in one of my videos, and she made this like really wonderful thank you. And Gary, of course. I'll link the people that I talk about down below. And because of the French thing, I was like talking all these phrases in French, and I was like, I don't know any of these. I'm not like Scott, who knows a bunch of languages. Scott Stitches in Spain. And then I went on YouTube to screenshot my progress pictures, and he was live. Don't worry, it's going to be deleted. But it was so fun hanging out with him this morning. So that's why I'm a little bit late posting this. I'm not gonna worry about it, posting my Flosstubes late. Whatever. It's August 18th. I feel very chatty today, clearly. I've been talking for 3 minutes and haven't shown you anything. So my setup looks a little bit different. I hung up my California, which was a gift from my coworkers when I left my job. Oh, it was so sweet. And then down here I have my Tiny Things collection, which I'm going to give you a tour of because I'll do that in a separate video though. But I was going to give you a tour of this mostly to brag about my Tiny Things collection, but also to get your opinion on how to hang this thing on my wall. So if you notice right there's a command strip still on the wall because I tried to hang this thing with command strips, the ones that are Velcro. And I suppose I couldn't have gotten them to show you, but they're like on the Velcro. There's the soft side and a prickly side. It's two of the prickly sides smashed together, and then they hang something. But the item that you're hanging needs to be flat, right? And this thing is a little warped. So do you have any ideas? That does not involve poking a hole in your wall because it's in our lease agreement that we don't do that. And I think that I'm finally going to follow the lease agreement when it comes to hanging stuff up on my walls. I mean, I already hung the puzzle of our wedding photo. Oh, we got furniture. Oh, it's still messy in here. We got a TV stand. Sorry. Okay. So I'll stop moving you. And I got our desk, which is amazing. It's why you can see all of my stuff on the desk over here. So anyway, long story short, do you have any suggestions for hanging a warped thing? Or do I just like prop it up on something like this? Which I don't really want to do, but whatever. Look out for the Tiny Things tour. I think I'll just record that right after I record this. Okay, so maybe I should talk about cross stitch. Last time that you saw me, if you watched my last video, you saw that I was working on Iowa. And Iowa is this guy. This is a pattern from Stitches Lover Shop on Etsy. And here is where I was last time. Look, look at Kaylee. Aw. And I did not work on this very much because I think the next color that I was going to, this always happens. Iowa Progress. Okay, and then we're gonna move it. This always happens where I'm like, I can't really figure out how to work it. I did not really do very much. I just filled in the rest of this peach color. And let me show you the stock photo. And so I think the next color I didn't have in my flosses. So I'm wondering if I don't have that color. So I just kind of got stalled a little bit. This is on 20 count, Aida, 2/1, full cross. Yeah. It's not very much more than last time, but it's a little bit here. I really like these patterns. I've decided. You know, I have other ones, or I've stitched, this is my fourth or fifth state, and they're pretty simple patterns. Here, let me show you Alabama that I finished a few weeks ago. Like, they're pretty simple patterns. They're just blocks of color, and they're not super detailed, but they're just pleasant. You know, when you're looking for blocks of color to stitch, then this is the kind of pattern for you. It's not like it's not like the most amazingly detailed pattern, but it's just chill, you know. And I really like this project that I've started for myself, stitching all 50 states, because I'm exploring different fabrics. I'm exploring different counts that I've never stitched on. Like, this is 25 count 1/1, and I never had done that before. So I'm exploring new counts, and I'm stitching on a variety of counts, which I really enjoy. And I maybe would not have been adventurous in my other projects if I had not started doing this kind of thing. So anyway, that's Iowa. I don't know how many stitches. I didn't feel like telling you because there wasn't very many. And then next I worked on my Moroccan sampler by Cliffside Stitches on Etsy. Oh, this thing is so gorgeous, isn't it? Like, look at that. And this is the one where I brought with me on the road, and then I didn't bring the flosses with me. So I had the fabric and my progress, but no flosses. So here's what it looked like last time you saw it, and the last time you saw it. And let's see if I can figure out how to move it without moving everything else. Oh, there we go. Kaylee will figure it out sometime. And I finished the big motif, the really big one. So I just had like some purple and green to put into it. So yeah, I really enjoy working on these Cliffside Stitches pieces because they're small motifs, and this is on 32 count linen. I forgot what it's, where I think I got this piece on Etsy. This piece of linen. But I really like working on these because I have these really cheap needles that are really dull tipped, and they just slide through this fabric so quickly and easily, and I feel like I stitch like really quickly on this. I'm like Daydream Stitcher's daughter. If you have not watched her yet, go watch Daydream Stitcher. And then she just, in her most recent video, shouted out her daughter. Her daughter's 8, and she does Flosstubes every so often. And they're, oh, she's so cute. I put a little highlight on my Instagram stories. She was like, just keep stitching, just keep trying, because if you don't try, you're not going to get better. I need to get better at stitching. It was so cute. So go watch Daydream Stitcher. Go watch her daughter, Panda Stitcher. It's so cute. Anyway, that was a long rant for I stitched quickly on this, I think. But on my live, I was not. I was talking about fun stuff on my live, so I wasn't stitching very much. Isn't this pretty? Ugh, I love it. Yeah, 32 count linen. I think I'm just going to stitch all my cliffside stitches on linen because it's fun. Okay? You got to have at least one project on linen, right? And then I was also a mad woman stitching fast on my seasonal Earth SAL. # seasonal Earth SAL. This is from Cross Stitch for the Earth by Emma Congdon, this book. And I always link this in an Amazon link, but there are other ways to get this book. So by all means, just Google it. Cross Stitch for the Earth. And this is design number 19. No name, but it has been named Seasonal Earth SAL. Where was it last time? It was here last time. Look at all those pictures. Okay, let's make, oh. Boy, you almost wonder if I am biting off more than I can chew in this editing. Okay, yeah, I did a lot. So last time I only had the spring panel done. And then I've been meaning to do this seasonally, right? Like you stitch the spring in the spring and the summer in the summer. And I'm like, summer is, I'm not really nearing the end because of reasons. But it's still hot. But I never really considered September to be summer, right? So I was like, okay, I have a month to finish the summer one, and I zoomed on this. I did a lot of stitches in one day. I don't know because I haven't been counting these, but I did a lot. So I'm halfway through the summer panel, which is cool. I'm gonna put this down for a couple days though, because I have these weird. I feel like I have a really weird stitching pattern. Wow, I'm very chatty today, aren't I? Let me just tell you before I forget, 16 count Aida, 2/2, and I am filling in the white with floss. So in the pattern, it's it doesn't give you a color for the white, but I am filling it in mostly because I like the look of filled in. I like the look of full coverage with this white, especially on this fabric. If I were doing it on a linen, I probably wouldn't, but plus I wanted to use more of Ymir's silks. So I'm stitching this in DMC, but I do have some of Almond M&M's Ymir's silks, and I finally put the rest of them on here. This is her March May spring flowers collection. I'll link it below. And I've been using these ones on this project. Again, I'm still working on my setup, so I still need to get some good light. I should open the blinds. But look at all these other ones. I want to stitch something with these. I'm not very adventurous when it comes to subbing flosses, but I will have to start becoming adventurous when it comes to subbing flosses. Anyway, so I was talking about my stitching pattern. I will not feel like stitching for 2 days, and then I'll absolutely zoom on stitching and stitch this is only 3 days of stitching, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 50 by 50. It's 2,500 stitches in 3 days. That's a lot, right? And then I'll just zoom, and then I'll get bored of this, and I'll put it down for 2 weeks, because I can already tell that's happening because I look what I put on the Q snap on the hoop today. The 40 count. So I don't know. I'm like kind of all over the place, which just wee whatever. Doesn't matter. Okay, let me check my list because oh yeah, I do have a couple of other things to talk about. I guess I'll say plans first. So plans are stitch on beach because it's been a while since I've stitched on beach. And this I am working on the paper pattern, which I guess ask me when I'm down here and there's more colors, but I kind of like it just using the paper pattern because I can just move my little sticky note down and it's really fun. I'm also going to since I have all my stitchy stuff and I'm no longer on the road, I might pull out my giant USA pattern. Let me see if I have it on here. AJ. Oh, no. I haven't worked on it since we got this computer. I'll show you next week, I guess. I want to work on my giant pattern. Yeah, okay, so I was watching Sarah, the Stitchin' Mommy, who, if I haven't, I don't know if I expressed this before. I think I expressed it in the Flosstube where I was like, these people who have lots of followers are following me, and I forget that they're just people, right? So Sarah watches my videos, she comments on my videos, and it's still kind of like, I'm like, whoa, a celebrity's watching me, except Sarah's just a mom. She's just a person, and she stitches. Like, I don't know why that concept of celebrity is so amplified in my brain, but whatever. So I was watching her latest video, and she was talking about her birthday starts because she's turning 40. And she said, hey, join in if you want to stitch a hate or stitch something else that I'm starting. And I was like, I've been meaning to start barnyard animals, which, hang on, let me show you what that is because I can now. I remember how to do this. Oh, not that one, this one. But I've been meaning to start this because my giveaway winner, Wendy, she has already started it. And for the sake of stitching along, I would like to start it with her. Who am I watching? Oh, that's Sarah. I was checking the hashtag. But she said, hey, start another project with me as it's my birthday month. So I'm going to, because I've been stitching on 40 count with this guy, and I've been really liking it, but I've had the itch to stitch something not in diagonal stitching. I love diagonal stitching, but I've been, long story short, before I started stitching for real again, I was using this cross stitch app that like is a cross stitch simulation, and I did on that app. I'm embarrassed to say it, but I'm not, because it's an app, and we all it's pretty normal to play dumb games on your phone, but it's on your phone, and I was using her method where she stitches left to right, top to bottom. And every time I see her doing that on a project, I'm like, that's really fun. That looks really fun. But then I always convince myself that no, diagonal stitching is better because you're bringing your needle up through the fabric in a hole that doesn't have any threads in it, or one thread in it. So like when I stitch on my FOP piece, my full coverage, I don't think I'm ever gonna stitch that cross country, because when I try to put my needle up in a hole that has 2 or more threads, I just get frustrated because I either split the threads or it takes too long or whatever. But then I was like, 40 count. If I'm just stitching half stitch, then there's only 2 occurrences of a thread in each hole because it's half stitch, right? Like, here's the hole and only 2 threads, as opposed to the crosses of the, I hope you understand what I mean, but you probably don't, which is okay. So, yeah, I'm not going to try to explain it because I think I'll confuse you more. So I want to stitch to honor Sarah, to honor her being one of the OG Flosstubers and having such a great channel and such like somebody that I've looked up to for a while. I think I found her videos very early on in my Flosstube watching days. So I'm going to start Barnyard Animals on 40 count, and I'm going to use that method probably. We'll see how I feel about it once I get into it. But she stitches that way and then uses just one strand. And when I stitch full cross, I do running stitches, so sometimes I run out of a strand while I only have like a row of half stitches and I need to cross them. So I don't think that would work for me when I'm stitching full cross, but it will for a half cross, for 10 stitch or whatever. Excuse me. How have I been babbling for 21 minutes? Is this even a Kaylee cross stitch video? I think that's all the stitching. Oh, I actually do have one more thing to talk about. There's an app that I've been meaning to talk about that I've been meaning to use, and it's called Thread Stash, and it keeps track of your floss stash. And since I've been thinking about starting more big projects where colors can repeat, and I don't really want to buy multiple colors if I don't have to, I'm going to start using it. Can I link it below? I'll probably try to link it below if I remember. And I'm going to use it and see if I can be really diligent about keeping track of my floss and what flosses with which project. And it seems like it makes it really easy to know what you need to buy. So anyway, I'm going to record a Tiny Things tour. So if you want to watch that, because I have a collection of tiny things and I'll talk about it in that video. So, cheers. Happy Wednesday. Happy almost school time. Life update. I start school on the 30th, so pretty soon. I'm terrified. But yeah, I hope to see you on Sunday for my live. I go live every Sunday in the morning, Eastern time, around, I think I'll do it like around 10 o'clock because that seems to work for UK people pretty well. And then if I have any Central Time or Mountain Time viewers, they can pop in the early morning. So 10 o'clock Eastern. I usually try to schedule those like about 24 hours in advance. So if it pops up on my channel, you'll be able to see when I'm going to go live exactly. And yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you next week. Where's my ukulele? Here it is. You say, my Flosstube is over, I have nothing more today. Why it's so sad? Remember we made an arrangement. I upload every Wednesday and go live every Sunday. You'll be back soon, you see. You remember how to get to me. Is this still out of tune? Flosstube and the gram. Subscribe and follow to see my progress in the stitchy land. Da 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 da.